Well, good evening. Welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online, back for more matches in this year's 2021 Virtual 9-Ball World Championship. We've got a wee bit of catching up to do. We had a problem last night with the server. The match we were watching was almost over, and I see that it ended up in a forfeit. I don't know when the server went back up, because obviously it was late. I went to bed, but we have the bracket, and we can see how it stands at the moment. Jose and Mr. Bill due to play in round 2. We've got quite a few matches scheduled over the next few days. And I'm off tomorrow, and I'm off on Thursday, and we have matches over the next couple of days. We've got MC McClarkey against Skybitter. That is on April the 2nd at 5 PM, and that's British summertime, of course. And then further down we have the match that we're about to be watching tonight between Howiewowie and HAZAD. We've got Larry scheduled to, well, not scheduled, but set to play Potman in round 2. And then further down we've got, in actual fact, Mr. Fox has already played Crow Dubrovnik. I don't know when that took place, must have been late at night or early this morning, but Mr. Fox is through to round 3. And as we go down, we have the result through the one that was at 3 AM this morning or something like that, I can't remember, between VP Monster and Mugsy, and Monster is through to round 2. And finally, Wanwa has agreed to a match time with Cobra for their first round match on April the 2nd, and that is going to be at 8:15, so 9:15. That's sort of getting close to my bedtime on April the 2nd. And then further down we've got the result of one of yesterday's matches between Cheeky Chico and Tommy Yu, and Tommy Yu is in round 2, and he's waiting to play the winner of LS3 and Circuitry if that goes ahead. We've got Bedhead already in round 2, who's now set to play Linus, who was about to win his match last night against the Great Guru, and then all hell broke loose with the server. The server went funny. I thought it was my game that was going funny, and then couldn't get back in, and so went to bed. So that ruined the end of the stream last night. We also had the match between Tornado Tam and Casino Jim, and Tornado Tam is through in that one. He won 19-9. We've got another match scheduled for tonight. That'll be the second match, provided again Quagmire turns up. It's going to be between Stub and Quagmire at 10 o'clock tonight, British summertime. And then as we go through, I still haven't heard any update on what's happened with this match. Obviously, I don't know whether Mooncake's got a hold of tin or whatever, but Gung Ho is still through because Mooncake forfeited. He wasn't there at the time the match was scheduled for. And then of course we have the match tomorrow at what time's that? 8 o'clock. That's the big match in the first round, really, or the biggest match in the first round between Tony Sam and Spectre Dawn. And then as we go further down, we have the match arranged between Sergresh and Shaft Cracks. That's for the 2nd of April at 4 PM my time. I should be there for that as well. And then Zwiley and Miasma on April the 1st at 7 PM. Should be there for that as well. And as we keep going down, we've got Hairpig, who won the match, one of the earlier matches yesterday between Wink at Me and Hairpig. Pretty solid player. Hairpig needs to be looked at and kept an eye on, because he beat Wink at Me 19 racks to 12. One pocket slim, comfortable win over SD92. Or whatever it was. Is it SD92? Yes, it is. And what time is it? It must be just about 8 o'clock. I'm rattling on here. We've got Eloquente arranged to play Super Noob, and that is on the 1st of April as well. And then Jug Eye Bob is through. That was one of the other matches we had yesterday. Well, good evening everyone. Welcome to everyone that's there. I've made the chat a little bit more opaque so I can see names and things a bit in the lobby. Anyway, the room's up, one player's in, we'll get in time, I'll have a quick drink, and we will have the lag. Well, I think this is going to be quite a close match. I think it could potentially go all the way. Now, I'm going to excuse me. I'm going to ask a few times during the stream, because I've got a request to ask of the viewers, not necessarily the ones that are on the live stream, but anybody who watches this over the next day or two. I was checking my Twitch channel, and I very rarely go and check it now, because I really don't. I don't have time to do anything on Twitch really. So, but what I have found out, there is over 100 odd subscribers on Twitch. Now, what I'm thinking is that quite a few of those subscribers on Twitch are not subscribers on my YouTube channel, and even if you don't, even obviously if it's better watching it on Twitch, I would put in a request that if you are a subscriber on Twitch but you prefer to watch on Twitch, that's fine, but please subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I'm still about, what, 500 subscriptions away from 1,000, and I've been at this for 7 years. So if there's say 80 odd people who are subscribers on Twitch only, then it would be much appreciated if those 80 odd people from Twitch would even just subscribe to 9ball.com's YouTube channel. You can still watch it on Twitch, but the more subscriptions I get, and the closer to 1,000 subscriptions, the better for me in the long run. So that's one reminder. Yeah, I think this could be close. And it could be the odd bit of bad luck that might make the difference at the end of the day. Now, who's playing silly buggers here? Where's HAZAD? What's he doing? Is he still messing about in a room? Somebody go and give him a kick. Tell him we're ready to go ahead here. And that's 3 minutes gone already, and he's finally arrived. And I haven't a clue who's who. So we wait on the lag. Now, need to remind you that it's winner breaks. Jump queues are on. Golden breaks are on. Everything's on that matters for this tournament, that is. So HAZAD won the lag, and a ball in the break, and a shot in the one, and no shot in the two really. Now, look at that 4 onto that 9 ball. Well, you've got to get the 1 ball first of all. Now, he's obviously played that with too much in the cue ball to try and get there, and he got there. How much does that look like it? It probably looks like that's going there, and the 9 ball is going sort of that direction. I need to get my line working. Hang on a minute. that sort of direction. Change it to green. That way. It looks as if the 9 is going more towards that rail there. Anyway, that's getting a bit ambitious. Howiewowie gets the pot on the 2, but you're going to have to play a good shot here to not only cut that 3, but have anything near this 4 ball, which is fairly tight to the rail. Good evening, Jose. I'm working on a way of getting Spanish subtitles on the live stream. It might be a while, that's all I'm saying. Tell BP Monster to get out of the room and get into the stream. Somebody give him a nudge. Well, Howiewowie making a good effort at it here. And you're wrong side of the 7, he's going to have to juice this up a fair bit to get the cue ball up the end of the table, and he's played it well, maybe too well, and there's a mistake. And HAZAD can pounce just a bit too much of the inside, spinning the cue ball, directed it straight into the corner pocket, and like I say, it could be just the odd mistake like that that might make the difference at the end of the day. So, from looking like getting off to a good start there, it all blew apart on that one shot. And HAZAD gets another ball in the break, the 2 balls gone. And no shot in the 1 really, he should be looking for good cover here. And he's got a great opportunity to tuck this 1 ball up to the top right hand corner. Well, he's gone for the cut. You know, you're never ever going to get a reliable positional shot, but he's got the jump escape here. But great opportunity for a good safety there, considering where the 4 ball is. I mean, the 4 ball's going nowhere, and now he's got to look to try and get a good safety, but he's limited in what he can do by what he can see in the 4 ball. I don't know whether he can just push that and just drop onto the 6. Yes, he can. Well, that 7 ball is in the line to kick off the bottom rail, and he's maybe going to have to jack and massey this onto the rail. Oh no, he can get it. He can get it fairly easy enough. Might even be able to cut it if he hits it hard enough and cut it down the rail. Just pushed it away. So, this is another good opportunity now. Oh dear. Well, straight on to Howiewowie's case now. He has to get this done. Oh, is it Jose's birthday? Oh, happy birthday, Jose. Oh, Howiewowi's made the mistake again. And this is 2 racks that may well be going adrift. And going straight into HAZAD's pocket here. Except he's locked himself off behind the 8, has he? Or is he still okay? Oh, he's fine. Well, there's 2 ways to play this. play it with running side, and that's going to be very dangerous. He could have run it with inside right English to go around the angles up the top to come over the left hand side, or he could just have stunny drawed it. But there we go. You've got to see the obvious with that shot. It's going to go into the middle pocket, so you have to draw away to take it away from that line where it's going to scratch. So it's a gift either way, and it's one rack all. So we've had enough errors already in the match, and this time we've got our first dry break of the evening. Well, he can only see a portion of the one ball, so he needs to try and get it really thin. He's trying to jump it to pot this, I think. Very dangerous. And the reason I said that is because that was likely to happen. When you're playing close towards a rail, that cue ball starts bouncing. It's going to bounce on the side of the table, on the rail and off the table. But it's not an easy rack to run. There's a stumbling block immediately after this one ball, and HAZAD looking to try and get up and get a nudge on it. Once again, he's got a good opportunity for a good safety here. Get that punched around the table and try and leave the cue ball behind the 5. He's gone towards the 7, and if this 2 doesn't bounce much, he's going to leave it on. Not a good safety. Well, there's where the danger lies. 9 ball hanging over the pocket now, more or less. Well, I say hanging over the pocket, it's actually in the bottom rail, but very adjacent. And this is... He could actually let the cue ball run and maybe even billiard onto the 9 off this 4, believe it or not. He's just babying it in to leave himself on the 5. But had he went to run around the angles there, he could have chipped a 9 in, possibly. Just move that picture a wee bit higher. Now the question here is, because that 9 ball is not in the jaws, there's a danger that this could all go wrong on this shot. This is not over and out, this rack, by the way. This is not going directly into the pocket. You maybe have to try and just chip this to the knuckle so that the 8 goes in, but he's not going to be good in the 9 by the looks of it. Well, that's the way to do it. That's excellent. Everything worked out perfect there. So it's Howiewowie going into the lead. Now can he take advantage and get some luck in the break? Well, they didn't break very well. Hence another dry break. Now, oh, and of course it didn't break very well at all. 4 balls didn't hit a rail. I knew it wasn't a good looking break, so it's given HAZAD ball in hand straight away. Who the hell said that was Mark. Mark's had a brain fart. Jose's finally woke up and said his birthday's not till October. Mark, have you gone to bed? I've never seen Candyman. Yeah, I think Mark's working on some sort of different calendar from what Jose's working on. Thank God Jose knows when it's his birthday. Well, the 5, if you want to get clever, the 5 goes in off the 6. You know, it's not a desperate case of having to try and move the 5. But if you look at that position there, that 5 goes in off the 6. But not from that position, it doesn't. I don't know the Howiewowie actually had a look at the setup there. It's far easier to pot that 5 in off the 6 than it was to try and break them up. But he's got a good tight safety. And he's going to get the reward. HAZAD is kicked out. The cue ball's gone. And an early opportunity for Howiewowie to get that little window. Well, anyway, I said happy birthday, so I won't be saying it again in October. Well, this is another testy one. You don't want these. You want to be staring down the 9 ball. These are always testy. But in it goes. For the early 3-1 lead now for Howiewowie. Now, I presume he's the States, isn't he? Yes. So, it would be 20 minutes past 3 in the afternoon if it was East Coast time. And 20 minutes past midday Pacific time. And then somewhere in between if it's Central or Mountain time. So, early or mid-afternoon where Howiewowie is, wherever that might be in the States. Meanwhile, HAZAD just trying to creep down the table to get onto this 4 now. He needs to, I think he can avoid the 9, but he needs to get, he can try going behind the 9 and stunning around behind it and coming down to this right side for the 5, or he can go forward. Well, he's got a bit of luck there, running into the 9. And now, of course, there's a major problem with the angle that he's got in the 5 and trying to get onto this 6, which is no easy task. Well, he's decided it's worthwhile getting as good a line as he can to try and play this combo. He's got to play it. He can either go it one way, gentle enough to leave the 6 where it is. That's a good shot. You've got to go 100% committed to the shot. And now, on the long, fairly straight 8 ball, just kill the cue ball, and he's looking down the 9 to get one back. Anybody know where Quagmire's from? Is he from the States as well? Because that's Stub's opponent later on. And Stub will be looking to get onto that leaderboard. And he's got a very strong chance of doing it straight away in his first match. Well, Howiewowie has got himself in trouble immediately here. He's playing inside left to check the cue ball around the angles. Got the hit. Man, it's not bad because that is far too long to jump, so HAZAD's going to have to take evasive actions elsewhere. Ireland? Oh, I didn't know that. I saw somebody was asking, who was it asked the other day when the qualifying is for the World Championship, and I saw something on Facebook earlier on from the World Snooker Tour, and I can't remember what it said, but it's 2 days of, I think the final qualifying days are going to be streamed live on, I think it's Facebook and YouTube, so you'll be able to watch them. It's very unlikely that Jimmy White or Stephen Hendry will be in that final qualifying day. It's a bit too tall of an order to expect either of them to get there, no matter who wins their match. Because Jimmy White has to win 3 matches in a row and Stephen Hendry has to win 4. So that's a big ask. Mind you, it'll be it's first to 10 as far as I know. It might be just the first to 5 in the very first matches, I'm not 100% certain, but usually the World Championship qualifying is the first to 10, same as the first round. So HAZAD 3-2 behind. And again, just a little roll through, but you've got to roll through far enough to get good on this 8. The wrong side of the 8 is no good, because it just makes life more difficult. You've got to just run it through. And well, that'll do. He's fairly straight, so he can only go forward a certain distance. But he's going to square the match. Yeah, it definitely looks that this could be right down to the wire. This time another dry break. And Howiewowie straight away. A shot in the 1, but not a good position to try and get good in the 2. Playing the big draw, and he's managed to avoid all the obstacles at the bottom corner, but found his way into the right middle pocket again. Another scratch and another free go for HAZAD. Now, no problem with the 2. Immediate problem with the 3. So he's looking to just cheat the pocket, and if he does that, he's probably going to have to run right through as far as he dare, because if he gets a good kiss here or there on this 7, he can be looking at the 4 into the middle, but he's not hit that enough. He's not hit it enough. He had to be braver than that to get down to the corner. Well, this is tough because he's stuck to the rail and he's trying to get the jump cue into the cue ball. Doesn't look good odds to me. Well, he's managed to get the hit, and well, he's left a shot on here, easy enough to get the cue ball back across to the 5, but there is half a pocket to go at. In fact, a wee bit more than that. He's got there. Well, this is the one that's going to decide it. This straightish 6. He's either going to drop the 7 in dead weight, or depending on the angle he has, well, he's fairly straight, so he is going to be dropping it in. He's going to have to leave it on the short side of the 8. But he has to leave an angle. Oh dear, you can't be missing them. And HAZAD should be all over this like a rash, because these are gifts that he's not expecting to get. And unforced errors like that, you got to cut them out of your game. Cut as many out as you can. When you start counting them up at the end of the match, and you're looking at the scoreboard, you'd end up with a sore head, realising that you've made those 3 and 4 mistakes that you shouldn't have, that have cost you the match. So meanwhile, HAZAD breaks off in rack number 8. The 4 ball's gone. Got a shot now. This is a perfect example here of where HAZAD should be running the table. He's got to get the cue ball off the bottom rail and up past the 5, just so he can pot it. So it's about controlling the pace. Now, this time he's not quite got the luck, but he's going to try the jump escape, and this cue ball will be on the 3. It'll be very unlikely not to be on the 3 if he pots the 2. Well, he's... Now again, I'm going to say, how long did he take to set himself up with that shot? Absolutely no time whatsoever. No wonder he never got anywhere near the pocket. He's just got to use his shot clock to get himself set and prepare for the shot. It's just another player racing to get the shot over and done with, and not actually preparing the shot. Well, 9 ball on the bottom rail and the 8 ball on the side rail. This ain't going to be any easy run out now. And even more difficult where the cue ball is and the 5 ball is He's trying to draw back for the 6 into the middle. Looks like it. I think he's just got back far enough. He might just want to trickle this in. Now, I would suggest it would be a good idea to get as close to the rail as you can. And that way it can keep the cue ball more or less on a path towards the bottom rail, but not going too close to the 9. And that will do it. So now it's HAZAD is going to open the 2 rack gap. But I think there's a lot more twists and turns going to happen in this match if the early stages are anything to be given as a guidance as to how it's going to go. It looks very much that it could chop and change multiple times. This time we've got another dry break, although Howiewowie is coming to the table. Now that 1 ball we can see goes. It goes when you're staring right down it, but not when you're looking at that angle. It doesn't. You've got to get it very thin, and that was a good shot. He's got a kick off the rail. I don't know whether that's helped him a great deal. It looks as if he's okay. Just a little dink at the wrong angle in this too. That's why he's played the bank. And now he's got the good angle to go over for the 4. Chances like this, you really got to work very hard, full concentration to take them out. Now he's getting himself out of shape. This is where things start to get ahead of you. He's having to cut that down the rail. Cue ball running over to the 7. He's missed the 7, but he's going to end up hooked behind the 9. And I think the jump cue, or can he certainly can't get it. And it's too close to play in the half decent with a jump stick, I think. Looks as if he's lining up for it though. Ah, he has. He's played it well. That's a good shot. Now, having done that and done the hard part, he's now stuck with a 6 ball that isn't going anywhere fast. And he looks as if he's going for the safety, but it's poor. And that's where you need that gentle touch. You need that full trust in your mouse control to be able to just drop onto that 9 ball. And it's another gift. What does Tin know when I'm streaming? I don't know why he does it. I'm not going to answer anybody while I'm streaming. What was I talking about there? He's totally broke my concentration. Aye, it's chances like this that either player has to pounce on, especially when the other one looks odds on to take the rack. And HAZAD is going to pinch himself a 3 rack lead if he'd ran the 8 in. Do you see what I mean about this twisting and turning? I mean, he's obviously not thinking. He hasn't learned that I'm not going to open a PM on a live stream. Well, it could have been a 3 rack lead. It's back to 1. And Howiewowie has potted the 1, the 2, the 8, a thin cut in the 3, 5 over the bottom corner pocket. Doesn't need to worry about it, but if he can avoid getting locked up in something. That 7-ball's going to... That 7-ball, that little kiss has just ruined his chances of taking this rack out. It's amazing what happens. Always looking good there until that 9-ball brushed the 7. Oh, well he's scratched at the end of the day anyway. So now Howiewowie has given HAZAD the gilt edge opportunity now. I mean, does Tin not realise that you know, when you're streaming a game and the chat windows in the game, that whatever you type in the chat is going to show in the stream? Has he not worked that out? He's meant to be clever, is he not? That's why Steve's got him working for him. Now, cue ball wants to run away, obviously. It's about dead weight. That will do. And the gap is going to go back to 2. Now, is HAZAD going to get this break working for him? And I don't think at the moment that any of these 2 guys are threatening the Racks Run leaderboard. This time, the 2, the 3 and the 7 have gone. No shot in the 1. Could play the reverse bank, could play the bank past the 9-ball. The cue ball's got to get movement in it if he's going to get a follow-up shot in the 4 though. Well, he's went for the bank into the middle. He's got the movement in the cue ball, and that was actually a pretty good shot at the end of the day. But alas, no cigar, as they say. This is awkward, this shot. I mean, obviously you can pot this into the corner. Cue ball's running towards the 9. The difficulty is that the 4-ball's still down here in the bottom rail. And he's got very limited options as to what he can do here. If he's going to dig in, yeah, it's all or nothing in that shot. And again, slightly offline. As soon as it hits that jaw, he ain't going in. Well, the good cut. Now, the chance for the... Well, he's went for the bank, I think, and went for the safety in the 1 shot, I think. And it hasn't worked out. Yeah, I've seen that. Spectre Don versus Tony Sam. Well, Tony must be doing whatever practicing he's doing offline, because he's certainly not been online that I've seen. Howiewowie now has to take this out. And that, again, I don't know why he hit that so hard. You've got to play controlled shots, and that is throwing away racks playing shots at that speed. There's no control over it whatsoever, and that's playing into HAZAD's hands. But as long as he just makes sure he takes every opportunity, that will punish Howiewowie. This ain't going to do it though. And he's got the combo. He managed to rescue the situation there. But he's now got a 3-rack lead. And Howiewowie has to steady the ship here. But if the game plan is banging at balls that hard, that's not going to work. There was no sense of any control over that shot whatsoever. It was just a total blast, and you don't know where the cue ball was going to end up. And now it's the usual. It's the old kick and hope, and that'll do it. That is not a bad result. You need a little bit of running when you've played those shots. And it's got HAZAD in trouble. And likewise for him, same thing. Just give it a hit, shut your eyes and hope. And that 6 ball might be slightly in the way, but you can play it with a little bit of left. Well, I don't think he played it with any left. It needed a little to make the angle to get over to the 1. So now, Howiewowie has the ball in hand opportunity. Now at this point, the first thing you should be doing with ball in hand is looking around the table and knowing where you're going. Now the big problem is coming up after this 2 and 3 ball, because he's got to get a half decent angle in this 4, and that's not a bad angle, but he's going to have to get the pace into the cue ball to come back over to the right here off that side rail. And that pace is good. Now he needs an angle again. There might not be enough there. I mean, he can stun it firm and he'll be up the table for the 7. Needs to miss it. Well, that'll do. And again with this one, it's just the potting pace of the 7, because the cue ball's going to do the rest. As Scotty says, you can't change the laws of physics. The cue ball can only go one direction, straight over to the other rail. And that was an important rack for Howiewowie to run out. So it keeps him in touching distance. And now he needs the bonus of a ball in the break and a shot and a chance to do it again. And he ain't getting it. And the yawning started. Thank God I'm not at work tomorrow. Big long lie in tomorrow. Probably lie into 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So the miss by HAZAD, and it's another opportunity. I'm not saying it's easy, because now this cue ball might just run onto the 9 here. No, it won't, but he'll brush through, and that's a wee bit better touch. Well, this is one way of sending a message to your opponent. Your opponent's made a mistake on the 1 ball. If you can come to the table and run the table and back up a rack that you've just won from running out in the last one, it does let HAZAD know that you're in the game. Well, he wants to get over to that left side as we look. He doesn't want to leave this half measures on that middle diamond in the top rail. He wants to get this across. And that's not bad. The reason I'm saying that is he's still the wrong side of the 7. The further over the left he would have went there, the easier it is to get on the 8. See, this is still the wrong side. So he's having to work the cue ball now. And that's nowhere. That ain't going to get the job done. Well, how would you like this for a shot? It's not even a good cross double, I don't think, because it's too close for a double kiss, but it might be one thing I would do as a last resort, but the cut down the rail's even more frightening. Oh, brilliant shot. That is a cracking shot. Excellent. And he's nailed it to the 9. Shot of the night, that one. Under pressure. And it's a good 2 racks here for Howiewowie. Well, he's spending too long over this 9 ball. That always worries me. You should be looking at it and your natural instinct tells you where you pot this 9 ball. I don't like the amount of time he's taking. But in it goes. And he's back within 1. And, well, he's certainly not going to be in the 1. He's potted a 2 and a 3. He's hooked in the 1. And looking to where he's going to push. I would push over to the right hand side because it leaves a blind pocket cut as some bait for HAZAD. He might not like it and he might put you back in, but at least it gives you a route to escape though with this shot. And this is where you got to weigh up the pros and cons. See, HAZAD's gone for the shot, and Howiewowie's coming to the table with another opportunity here where he could steal another rack if he can get around the table and up onto that 4. You see, that shot that he's played there, even though he's hit the 9, it was a lot more controlled pace than that bang that he played earlier on. He's unlucky, of course. He can still thin cut this 4, but he can play a half decent safety shot if he can get the power right, and he hasn't. He's overhit it. Good evening to Semi-Pro. So this is the first of our matches tonight. And this one started, what, 46 minutes or 47 minutes ago. And then at 10 PM British Summer Time, we have Stub's first outing in this year's tournament. Good evening. Now I'm going to sound like a broken record. This is the second time I'm going to make this appeal. I have currently got 100 and something, or just over 100 subscribers on Twitch. If you are just a subscriber on Twitch, could I ask you to do us a favour and go and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, even though you don't watch it on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube, because I want to get those subscriptions up over the 500. And if there's like 80 odd of you are subscribed on Twitch but not on YouTube, then I need your subscriptions. So please subscribe on my YouTube channel. You can still watch it all on Twitch, that's not a problem. So, the 2 rack gap has been restored. But Howiewowie has, well, this is, if ever this is an open invitation to fill your boots. It's called it's five men and a can. It's bloody hilarious. It's a play on words from like the two girls. It's 5 guys, 1 tin, that's what it is. Aye, that's what it is. It's a play on words obviously from that notorious video, 2 girls, 1 cup. But these 5 guys, 1 can, your sides will be splitting. Well, Howiewowi's battling to stay at the table here. Well, this is going to be the main test, this 5 ball. Got to be on the 6. Oh, he's okay. He's making hard work of this. He's going to have to dig into this. He didn't dig into it properly though. He actually more or less just stunned it. He wanted to get some draw into that to come off the rail and up towards the 9 so he could play the 7. Now he's going to have to bank it. He's got the bank. He's rescued it. And he's back to within 1. Now, I can't remember what, there was a few of you guys said like, something like 1915 to HAZAD, whereas the commentator's eye says it's going to be a lot closer than that. There's nothing to suggest that this isn't going to go all the way. But, Howiewowie has a ball in the break and a wide open table again to get this match all square. That's not going to do him any good though. I mean, there's wide open spaces here to get to that 4 ball. Well, that's got the legs. So is the cue ball. Well, that just needs a feather edge on the 5 ball. He's trying the reverse bank here, I think. No, in fact, you can't see it enough about to do it, I don't think. It'd be better going a feather edge off the left side. Yep, that reverse bank wasn't on. Oh, he's got the second prize though. Good evening, Mooncake. Have you had any joy here? I don't know what Tin was PMing me about, but I wasn't going to find out. But have you spoke to him? Oh, it has been reset. Oh well, that's fair enough. Well, I think you've got until not January, what the hell am I talking about? April the 3rd, I think, to get it played. And HAZAD has dug a hole for himself here. This is what's going to. Oh, look at this 9 ball. There's the things that turn matches backward and forward. HAZAD thinking it was done and dusted and lost, and all of a sudden he's fluked to 9. And the gap is back to 2. So that's 9 PM my time. That's no good. I'll be going to bed. Anyway, you shouldn't really have a problem. You should win that match. What's going on here? Howiewowie, is it the old banging technique again? The 5 ball's maybe going to drop. No, it isn't. HAZAD's not really get much available here with this 1 ball being so close. I don't know whether you can try and get cheeky here and spin off the side rail in behind the 8 ball. Well, if you're Amsterdam, you're an hour in front. It's that simple. At the moment it's 5 to 9 and you're 5 to 10. Well, it's British summertime here. The clocks changed last Sunday there. But it doesn't matter when the clocks change, you're always an hour in front of us. Well, Mal is online. Might not be online too long, he might be on just for a look in. Oh, well, he's got every intention. He's signed up for the daily edition, which is about to start in about 4 minutes time. And meanwhile, Howiewowie found his way into the pocket again. And it's a 2-9 combo for HAZAD. No hanging about. And then it goes. So now the gap goes to 3. And Mal's sending me a PM. It's going to be ignored. He'll soon find out. Somebody tell him to come onto the stream and ask his question. He's I don't know, he's probably going to ask me something about how does he get in contact with this guy again. It's going to be something to do with the tournament. But as long as somebody tells him that I don't answer PMs, somebody can try and help him. Of course, Mal won't know that I'm streaming at the moment. In fact, hang on a minute, that's probably the best way to do it. Oops, caps lock on. Right, anyway. Well, Howiewowie needed a bit of luck there. I don't know whether he's got it. Well, he can if he gets the point, just chip this 3 in. Let's see where the cue ball ends up though. Well, he's got that all wrong. I don't think he gave that much of a chance to chip off the rail and cut the 3 in. And this is a bonus for HAZAD. But I thought there was every likelihood of him cutting the angle off that rail and cutting the edge of the 3. I saw something about admin or something. I should know by now I'm nothing to do with admin in this game. So if he wants any problems resolved, he has to obviously contact whoever's there. Well, there probably isn't anybody. What was the question? You can let me into the secret. What was he wanting to ask? Well, HAZAD's made a howler on the 7. And he's allowing Howiewowie to stay in touch here. Oh dear me, goodness me. Unbelievable misses here. These are laughable from these two guys. So I said XS. Sending him a message to come on here to ask. Well, it looks, I daren't open my mouth here for fear of what might happen. But it's now, who's the admin for the World Championship Snooker? Well, that'll be, the overall admin would be Steve. For the, what am I saying about snooker? It'll either be Tin or Steve. What is his problem though? What is it he wants to know? What does he want done? Is it simply because he doesn't know how to contact his opponent, or what? Or has he not had a reply? Has he been sending messages? What's his issue? Not really, no. Now, is there a gap there? Is there a gap? There actually is a gap there. There is a gap for that 3 ball to go. Oh, he's just caught the point. He's just caught it. But it would have went. It was very tight, but it would have went. It's the fact he sent invites and don't want to be forfeited because opponent not accepting. Well, he doesn't need to worry about that. I'm trying to remember, who's he playing again? Have a look at this bracket. Where the hell is he on it? Is he playing somebody that's in the lobby now and again? Because if I see them, I'll chase them down. I'll probably scroll past his name. I need to start from top to bottom here. Jose. Well, there we are. SWWS. Well, he's in now and again. He's not that regular. And when he does come in, he usually plays snooker. But you know what the problem is? I'll tell you what the immediate problem is. The problem is this guy probably doesn't have his emails activated on his account, so he won't be getting proposals coming through to him. That's half the problem with some of these guys. He won't even look at his account when he comes online if he does, so he won't know that he's got an incoming message. That's probably half the problem. But as I say, he's not a regular visitor to the lobby. But Mal doesn't need to worry as long as he's sent the proposals. And if the other guy's done nothing, it's the other guy that gets forfeited anyway. End of story. That's what happens. Meanwhile, Howiewowie doesn't want to win this match because he's had enough chances to pinch racks back and blown them. HAZAD's done his fair share as well, and like I say, and as I said at the beginning, it's just going to be silly things that's going to make or break either's chances in winning the match. At the moment it's working in HAZAD's favour, but that could even turn as well. So we're now an hour and 4 minutes into this match, and we are 56 minutes away from you know who. So it's another dry break. And this time Howiewowie's got the cover. I think HAZAD will find he's got enough room behind the 7 to get over it. Well, now easy enough. 1 ball and then 2 ball. And then the major problem is the 6 and 7. Howiewowie didn't fancy it. But what I was thinking there is trying to get somewhere on that 4 that would allow you to run into the 6 and 7 and still have a shot in the 5. That would be the shot to try and break these out. Because the 5 is open and exposed, it'd be worthwhile if you could get some sort of angle off the 4 to find a line into this 6 and 7. That cue ball is heading straight into the pocket. Now, HAZAD's looking at the 6 and 7, I think. Well, like I say, where the 3 ball is, you've got to get there first of all. The other major problem with the idea I had is the 4 ball's too far away from the 6 and 7. But if, for example, see if you were there on this 4 ball, you could slam it in and run up to the 6 and 7, and even if the cue ball, you know, sort of runs away here or finishes here, you've still got a shot in the 5. Well, that just missed the knuckle. Well, where he is in the 4, it's not going to give him much chance of getting near that 6 and 7 that way, but he could use the 9 ball here to his advantage. If he has a bit of right spin in the cue ball and he hits that 9, he'll go that way. And, well, this is maybe worthwhile putting full focus into trying to make this combo, because he's not going to get much other chance out of this to break the 6 and 7, so you've got to look and see how far that 9's off the rail, and it's, you know, a good few millimetres. You just need to get the chip on that edge. And he slammed it straight into it again. That didn't need to be played at that speed. What's the end result? Well, the end result is Howiewowie might have an angle to try and chip this 6 and 7 if he pots this 5. Oh, he just missed it by a cigarette paper. I need a drink before I lose my voice. Well, that'll do as a safety. Look at this. Look at this. Well, I thought it was going to tuck in behind the 8 or the 9 there, but it's not a bad effort. It is a good bank though, just near the middle diamond and the bottom rail. It's a good single or double bank. But HAZAD isn't interested. Where's the cue ball finishing? Well, Howiewowie has the pot on the 6, but he's got to get some running in the cue ball. Well, that isn't going to do it. And what's he thinking now? Is it a big long combo? And again, there's a wee bit margin of error just to hit it to the rail and catch that 8. Well, he's trying to pot. He's trying to pot in a pocket where there was only a third of it showing. And he may well have gifted this rack to HAZAD again. That was a tall order, trying to squeeze that ball past that 8. He's trying to create miracle shots there. It was far better to have a go at the combo than it was to try and do that. And all of a sudden this match is running away from Howiewowie. He has stalled big time. And he's going to have to work hard to get back on track. And that has to start now. HAZAD's dry break has given him a free go. And this is where his hard work starts. And for a match that, as far as I was concerned, was looking as if it was going to go tight, and straight away he's missed a one. And he's going to be nailed to the 9 in a minute. It looks as if it's heading one direction now. And there we go. It's now a 14 rack to 7 lead. Well, we'll check the stat. Excuse me. We'll check the stats at the end of the match. So the push out played. Now HAZAD can push that one past the 2 and still use the 8 here. It's not a great push out by Howiewowie, and HAZAD's looking at all sorts of things here, but the simple shot is just to push the 1 just past the 2 and just run to the 8 ball. He's going all out for the pot. You know, you want to keep, when your opponent is down, you don't want to start doing things to encourage them to get back into it. You want to bury them. And they had a perfect opportunity to lock that cue ball to the 8. And if HAZAD loses the rack because of that, then this is where you have to just reel yourself in. You've got a lead, you want to keep the lead. And you don't want to be chasing for the line too soon. But Howiewowie's errors are coming in thick and fast here. They're breeding these mistakes and misses. I think even if HAZAD just shows a wee bit more patience and just waits, he's going to get a chance sooner than later. And he should be out in this rack, provided he can play. I forgot about that 4 ball, I've just realised the 4 ball's over the pocket. Well, the cross bank isn't on in the 3. And he can get enough of the 3 to try and push it to the right edge of that 4. I think he was hoping for some sort of double kiss and something to drop there. Well, this is definitely Howiewowie's last chance to win this rack. Thin cut in the 3, not interested. That was maybe the time to actually have a go at that 3, because the 4 ball's over the pocket. The chances of him being locked out in the 4 were fairly slim, and everything else is wide open. He probably should have had a go at that 4. Is he going to get a better opportunity? Well, this might be it. Now, that picture that Howiewowie's got there, is that a picture of a pool table, or is it just a picture of a blue screen? I'm trying to see what it is. I'm out my chair right over looking at the corner of my screen. No, it looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like a geezer. It looks like Old Faithful or something like that. Well, Howiewowie's again got to take your medicine here. Drop the 7 in. the cue ball's going over to the right to leave a long 8. And he's rattled the 7 again. But he's got away with it. And this is where you've got to have that better level of consistency in shots. Well, HAZAD's gone for the reverse bank. Where's the cue ball ended up? It's in the hole. But there's far too many mistakes from Howiewowie. That's why he's fallen right out of the game. It didn't start off too good and it just went downhill basically. Well, barring an almighty disaster here, he's going to get 1 back. And his first goal is to get to double figures. But another, I mean, he's not getting any favours with the break now either. Another dry break. We've got the 7 and 8 tied up. Top left. Let's have a closer look at this one. Well, that one goes. But what's the value in getting that? When the 3 is awkward, you've got to get right up the table to have a shot in the 3. The 4 will go past the 8. And Howiewowie's managed to find the 8 ball, but he's got it safe. That's a better one. Big distance between the 2 balls. There won't be much pace in this cue ball by the time it gets to the 1. Mind you, he's got it thin enough. Get the cue ball back up the table, and he'll be happy with that result. 2 ball blocking the path. Well, that top left hand corner is a good target area to either send the object ball or send the cue ball up there if you're looking for cover. And of course you've also got the 3 and 9 on this end of the table. HAZAD again going all out for the bank. And another good safety. You know, it's not just the winning of the safety battles, now that's going to scratch. So Howiewowie he's won the safety battle, but is he going to be anywhere near good enough to manoeuvre this cue ball straight away? The first test has been able to manoeuvre the cue ball down to this bottom left hand corner, past the 9 and the 3 to get on this 2. See, he's going all around the houses with no clear idea what he's doing there. You see that? I mean, that is a shot of somebody who basically had no real clue of what he was intended to do there. Because the main objective was to get into this area. You have to get into this area here and you'll have a shot in the 2. It's pointless trying to get down to this corner. And that was a wasted visit. That's how it is. Just a wasted visit. And a player who doesn't have the confidence in his own ability to do the right thing. You know, if he's waiting to get something handed on a plate, he might have a long wait. Well, he should have done anything but that. Put it this way, it wouldn't have mattered what he did, but that shot he just played there was just a player, you know, big draw, no control on it whatsoever to get to where you want the cue ball to be. And HAZAD, trying to hide the cue ball, has left Howiewowie another invitation to the party. Now this is very tight. I'm looking to see what the angle was in the 3 and the 9 there. It's nowhere near a combo, because I was looking to see if it would bank across table. Well, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be tickling that 3 ball, going to that short rail and tucking in behind the 6. That's what I'd be doing. A wee bit of right spin, just to catch that end rail just before the pocket and tuck the cue ball away. See, he's gone all out, and now he's given HAZAD another go. So it was an over-ambitious attempt there, but it was far easier to tuck the cue ball away. You've got to be thinking with a clear head. Even though you're behind, you've got to do everything to help your situation. And the way you do that is by sensible shots. And we're not seeing a great deal of evidence of that from Howiewowie's behalf. Well, it's all out for the bank here. Cue ball running around. He would have had an edge on the 5 to pot it, had that 4 gone in. Now, it's got to be the billiard onto the 5. The 5 will go every day of the week, I think. Got to just get that, I think, just on. Well, he didn't think it was on, refused it, and played the much better safety shot. Well, that's going to be ball in hand. That's clipped to 7. Well, just chip the 4 and come in the gap between the 7 and 5. Well, he's actually playing it opposite pocket. What angles he got? Let's have a look. Well, he's fine. Just run over to the side rail and out. So he's fairly straightish on this 6, so we can just go to the side rail. In fact, he's the other side of the 6. That's still not a problem. Again, just got to let this run off the end rail, the cue ball. He's looking to stop it. He's ended up dead straight in the 7 instead, so he's going to have to pinch it and get around the corner unless he wants to just dig down and draw again. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And there's the light at the end of the tunnel for Howiewowie. Good afternoon to Hairpig. Welcome aboard. I'm going to say this again, so you guys that have been here since the start will have heard this twice already. This is the third time. And Howiewowi's blown it there in the 9. Anybody who is a subscriber on Twitch, if you are a subscriber only on Twitch, could you please do me a favour and go to my YouTube channel when you've got time. You'll easy enough find my YouTube channel. You just type in 9ball.com and just subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't have to watch on YouTube, but it would help if you would subscribe on YouTube. You can still watch it on Twitch, which is for most people, I think it's probably some folk find it better on Twitch than it is on YouTube. It doesn't matter, but I need all of those subscribers who are subscribers only on Twitch to subscribe to me on YouTube. Well, it's back to 14-9. I don't know whether you could describe this as a great comeback trail for Howiewowie. There's not a great deal of evidence that suggests that he's going to be capable of doing it. He's going to need an awful lot of assistance here from HAZAD. And if HAZAD loses this match from this position, he might go around kicking himself for a few days. Now, what have we got now? If we look down the rail, the obvious problem is the 6 ball. Now, if you got good on that 5, you could play a nice gentle combo and that 9 will go past the 6. It's not going to happen now, obviously, because HAZAD has a total brain fart. I don't know what the hell he tried there. Is HAZAD watching the stream? I mean, I don't know what he did. Somebody can explain that one to me. Oh dear me. Well, Howiewowi's a brain fart, a mouse fart, he's at everything. Well, this is what I talk about. You know, if you don't get full cover, get distance. Because the test now for Howiewowie is to get the thin edge in that 2 ball so that he doesn't run into the 9 or the 6. Now, as it is, he's played a half-hearted effort at a safety and he's given HAZAD a free go in the 2. Not a good safety again. Well, Howiewowie does not want to watch this rerun, because I've not got a lot of good things to say, I'm afraid. Well, the match has been on for an hour and 29 minutes. We are half an hour away from the second match of the night, provided Quagmire turns up. I've got no doubt Stub will turn up, if he's not already hiding away down in the chat. But I was looking at Stub's stats in the Friday night 9 ball. And Stub's got a very good chance of jumping straight to the top of the leaderboard on the Racks run. Top 10. A chance to run Larry off the top peg. I don't think either of these two guys are threatening anything on that though. Be very surprised. We'll have a look at that stat at the end of this match. But I think if Howiewowie can come out of this rack and all of a sudden he's in double figures, then it may well just look better on the scoreboard for him. Maybe give him that bit of encouragement. I'm clutching at straws here to find anything to work in Howiewowie's favour. But basically HAZAD is going to have to start falling apart. And more or less gift racks on a plate for Howiewowie to be certain of actually winning the rack. Because, you know, if there's a lot of balls on the table, he probably won't be that confident in being able to get himself out, given the opportunity. What's happened with Mal and Mooncake? I thought they were playing in a tournament. Oh, did Mooncake? Oh, I've just read that. Did Mooncake win it? Ah, well. And Quagmire's arrived. That's even better news. Well, Howiewowie's chance might have gone. HAZAD has a cut up the rail, and that's going to get there. So, 15 racks to 9 is the lead for HAZAD. And of course, the most popular thing of the night is another dry break. Now, is Howiewowie going to have a bash at this combo or be confident enough to play the pot? I think he's dead straight though. Yep, that's the problem. Dead straight with loads of top. You're going to follow it straight into the pocket. And HAZAD, well, he'll be okay to get up as far as the 5 ball, and then the 6, and then it's going to have to be a 7-9 combo. This is where he's got to be careful, because this could go into the middle pocket. He's got to get the dig in it quick. And he's taking his eye off the pot. Where's the 5 ball going though? Well, here's your lifeline, Howiewowie. Now watch how he just puts all the bottom on this. Is he going to be controlling it? Well, he's drawn off the 9, and that's a disaster. And it ain't happening for Howiewowie. The only thing that has happened is he's chipped that 9 and he's knocked it onto the 7. And has he taken the 7 out of the game? Yes, he has, but I'm afraid Howiewowie is going to be in trouble after this next shot. If he gets a half ball, there's a chance he can get this in. Well, not half ball, less than that. But he's way off the mark. And it's looking, well, it's 3 fouls, isn't it? Aye, 3 fouls. And it's now developed into a nightmare for Howiewowie. He'll be glad when this is all over. HAZAD gets the ball in the break, the 8 ball goes. We've got the 6 ball hanging over the bottom left, which may end up being a combo from the 4, because that's locked up the 9. Is that going to get to a rail? It's going to be ball in hand for Howiewowie. Now, is he going to go along with this? Because again, he's in danger of scratching. The 2 will cut, and he'll run straight into the 7, obviously. Well, he's gone long, he's avoided the scratch. And now, does he go for the 3-ball combo, or is he going to try and squeeze the 3 past the 4 and just catch that 6? It's the 3. Oh, this could work out nice. He's got to play this gentle. This doesn't require slams. Is it going to drop? No. Well, there'll be an almighty billiard played here by HAZAD. Just to chip into the 4. Oh, and he's missed it. He had to stun that. He didn't need to go to a rail. He had to stun that. And now, Howiewowie, well, he can't get it gifted any more on a plate than what we're watching right now. And the worst thing Howiewowie's going to do here is slam the 4, the cue ball, run around the table and scratch. That's the only thing that's missing from this match for Howiewowie is a 9-ball hanging over the pocket. He blasts it in with no reason whatsoever, and the cue ball scratches in another hole. That's the ultimate disaster. But it's double figures at last for Howiewowie. He's trailing by 6. He's got very few racks to play with. He's got a ball, well, what's gone? The 1 and the 3 have gone in the break. And I don't think he's got much of a great shot in the 2. And that looks good to me. Unfortunately, the cue ball isn't good. Because at that distance, again, you can't get a great deal of pace into the cue ball, so it's a kick. And if he gets it full in the face, the problem is the 6 ball is going to hold the 4 ball up there. Oh, he's managed to hit it. He's managed to end up getting it clean. That'll hold into the gap, I think. Good shot. Now he's got a slight angle, so he wants to stun this firm up past the 9. That's a shot. You stun it firm and you'll go up past the 9. Needed a bit more. Well, you could go around 3 rails with this one just to get back into the middle of the table, because if you don't, you end up leaning it long like this. So this is another tester. And there's why the mistakes come in. You have to be brave enough to get the cue ball to the better position to make the pot easier. And I think HAZAD's got lucky there. He's left it awkward. But Howiewowie simply has to put this in the pocket. He's got to get rid of it. Doesn't matter what pocket, as long as it goes away. And in it goes. And that shot there I was saying with HAZAD. I know if I was at the table, I know the shot I would have played. I would have played to run around the angles to come into the heart of the table, to make the pot in the 9 easier, rather than leave myself long cuts offline. And you're only putting pressure on yourself doing that. You're trying to make every time you're at the table, you're trying to make your life easier. And HAZAD paid the ultimate price there with that one. And Howiewowi's got another one on the board. Is that going to get to the rail? Yes, it is. And now the shoes on the other foot. HAZAD having to kick. And he's left it safe. Although, without saying too much here, I think Howiewowi's lining up for one. Oh, there he is. He's woke up. Good jump by HAZAD. Big distance between the cue ball and the two. Now there is still a glimmer of hope here for Howiewowie, but as I said, he's got to help himself. And he's got to do that by being clever and sensible. But if he can pinch this one, those little flickers of doubt, well, he's got that all wrong. But and the other thing is, he's probably going to end up in trouble here. But it might, if he just wins another one, he might put that little bit of doubt into HAZAD's mind. Might become a wee bit more tentative. Howiewowie ended up in trouble, as was always going to happen, and so HAZAD has his chance to get one rack closer to round two. Now, the safest route is to go forward with this shot and come back up the table. The safe route isn't to draw because the angle isn't good. So you go forward and come right down off the top rail. That's a bit steamy, that shot, and Howiewowie lives again. Unless he's locked up behind the 9, that is. And it's a weak one from HAZAD. He's chickened out there. Now Howiewowie might only get one shot at this, and it's got to be the cut into the corner, and he's got to get a hold of the cue ball. He doesn't want to just let this run free. He has to control it to stop it squirting away into pockets. Well, this is the biggie. If he goes to slam this into the corner, he could end up scratching in the middle. He could go for the bank up and down and give himself 2 goes at getting this in the pocket. But he's only going to get 1 go if he takes it in the corner. He's gone fully committed. Excellent. Well, I think that's 3 in a row. Or is it 4 in a row for Howiewowie? I think it's 3 in a row. And we've lost the 3 and we've lost the 6 on the break, unfortunately for Howiewowie. No shot. So the push out has been played, and that push out almost went wrong because HAZAD can't see enough of the 5 to pot it, but he can see enough of it, and I think it's just this one ball just squirting out, although it's pretty much, well, it's off the rail, but I still don't think that Howiewowie can refuse trying to thin this in. It is not easy. Again, he said a bang at it rather than trying to cut it. You know, you have to. He went fully committed for that 8 ball in the last rack there. Why he wasn't fully committed to just thin the edge of that and cut it, and just having what looks like just a straight out bang at it. Well, you can easily do that, apart from the fact that I'm streaming it, because if you're obviously in the room, you can mute his chat. Listen, I'll go with the majority. If you want me to mute him in the room, I'll do it. I've not a problem with it, because there's nothing usually worth reading anyway. Well, it's now 14 minutes away from the start of Stub's match with Quagmire. And I reckon this match may well be overlapping it. Howiewowie trying to use the rails, and well, everything about that shot was perfect, apart from the final outcome. Now, the 5 ball obviously locked up, so this is the one that has to work in HAZAD's favour. He needs a bit of luck. The 5 is in the open. He's got a choice into the middle and up the table, or into the top corner and off the rail and out. Well, he's stunned it to hold it for the 7 rather than running up the table. Well, he needs to now make sure he gets down to the middle pockets with this shot, and that will do. And so HAZAD is now just 2 racks away from round 2, with a 5 rack lead, the break, and a couple of balls in the break as well, but no shot in the 1. 4 ball hanging over the right middle pocket, the 2, 3 and 6 wide open, but crucially the 1 ball is not available. Now, what's happened to HAZAD? Well, he's deciding to push. Now, I would play this with a bit of right English to clip the 1, hopefully miss the 3, and the spin in the cue ball sort of keep it up in that top end of the table. Well, all I can see that's happened from that is Howiewowie's teed it up for HAZAD. He had the right idea, he just didn't get the pace right. Another few inches and that ball was hidden away behind the 9 and 7. Well, I suppose the problem for HAZAD is getting from the 6 to the 7. And that's not going to be quite as simple as it might look. Especially if he leaves himself as straight as that in the 6. He had to leave himself an angle to be able to do something here, and he's got nothing. So it's just a big draw and a big long 7-ball. He's managed to get the cue ball into the table, so I think he'll probably just brush into the 9 here as he's going to draw off it. Probably easier just to brush into the 9. So this will take him on to the hill. 1 away. That was a tilted rack there. It was going to the left. When I say tilted and going to the left, what I'm talking about is when we're looking at it from this point of view, the rack was sitting like that, but going that way slightly, or that way. If that cue ball misses the 2, he'd have been wide open on it, and he's brushed into it. This is his chance. He might want to run for cover here though. He's got a good opportunity to do that. Well, he's played a bank and it's ran onto the 2 and gone in. Well, he might as well go all out and have a blast at the 3 as well while he's at it. Now, he's played a controlled shot, ran into the 9, and that's going to give him the cut on the 4. Maybe he needs a wee bit more angle, but he's got the movement right. And the pace and the control is good there as well to get on the 6, so this is it. Is that right? So he's now the villain of the piece in both games now. Good evening, Slim. Well, he said he was going to get into shooter pool, didn't he? And HAZAD comfortably through in the end, but it is not one to go down in the history books as worth watching again, certainly not from Howiewowie's perspective. So, well, you guys got it right. It ended up a bigger margin than what we all thought. I thought it'd be a lot closer than that, and certainly if Howiewowie was at the races, if he was at the starting blocks, it may well have ended up like that, but not tonight. So HAZAD marches on. He's into round 2. And Mooncake's marching on by the look of it in that daily edition thing as well. Right, let's see where we are. That match will update now or any second, and we'll see that HAZAD is through, waiting on the winner of the match between As You Wish and Danny. I'm betting at that. Well, Danny was in the lobby the other night. I don't know about As You Wish. But anyway, there we go. It's finally updated. HAZAD has gone through, and it is double elimination for anybody who doesn't know, which is why we've got this side of the bracket. So all the losers end up over here, and the tournament will go on and on and on and on for quite a while yet. There's loads of matches, quite a few in the schedule, and quite a few tomorrow. and quite a few over the next couple of days. Well, we've got 1-2 there tomorrow, and there's 2 going to clash because that one has been rearranged with Gung Ho and Mooncake for 7 PM tomorrow night, and unfortunately for Gung Ho and Mooncake, that clashes with Tony Sam and Spectre Dawn, because they're going to start an hour later, and that's the main live stream tomorrow night, is the one we're concentrating on. So we'll watch the Gung Ho Mooncake match up until this one starts, and then we're heading over. And this is a match we're waiting on between Stub and Quagmire. And then these are other matches, the Cobra and 1v1 or Fan in a couple of days' time as well. And all of these matches are all results. And we've also got MC McClarkey against Sky Bitter in a couple of days. And where's the other one? We've got the Tony Sam Spectre Dawn match tomorrow as well. Of course, that's a problem. Hang on a minute here. Let me get my head right here. Right, aye, Gung Ho and Mooncake and Tony Sam and Spectre Dawn. That's right, isn't it? Aye, so they're at 7 and they're at 8. What was the other one I saw? Did I just count the 2 games for tomorrow? Aye, I did. 1, 2, and the rest of them are all for a day or 2 later. Aye, that's right. That's fine. Right, so we are... What? We're about 3 minutes away from Stubbs' first outing in the tournament. Oh, that was the other thing I meant to check. Somebody should have reminded me there. We'll go to the event and we'll go to the stats. And this is the one that we're interested in, the Racks Run. And if we bring that up, we can see that, well, HAZAD and Howiewowie didn't make any inroads into the Racks Run list. I think it's as it was earlier on. Yep, there's no change. You've still got Larry at the top. He's out in front with 9. Now you've got to remember as well that Larry's only played 1 match, whereas Mr. Fox has played 2 to get his total of 7. So Larry's out in front after only 1 match. Cyrus is in 2nd place after only 1 match. That's the big difference. Tommy Yu is in 3rd place effectively after only 1 match. And remember, some of these guys have, I think Dubrovnik's the one that's played 2, because he played fantastic Mr. Fox the other night there, I think. So there is no change, no immediate change, but there will be after the match with Stub, because he's bound to get himself onto that board. Right, so we've got Mooncake. Let's go in, let's drop into that for a second, and all of a sudden the blue cloth looks a lot better in the hard times room. So what's this a race to? A race to 7, and it's handicap, and Mooncake is getting the 8 ball. And I've just noticed your question here, Pig. Yes, I am streaming it. I think you've already worked that one out by now, though, because I was too busy reading the bracket and looking at the stats there. Now the thing is, did they not give you a warning, Stub? Did they just boot you out the door? That's not very fair. I'm disappointed in their... well, you need to go and read their terms and conditions. I bet you there's nothing in their terms and conditions that says that you can't mention Virtual Pool 4. in the lobby. So semi-pro 2-0 up, and that inside pool, I mean that just looks absolutely horrible on this table, on that cloth. That's the thing that was never tested before they put this logo onto the tables, that although this colour of cloth isn't the default colour for the table, but when you change the cloth colours, is the logo still good looking? And the answer to that is no, it looks crap. And look at where the 9 ball is. You see, just for you, Stub, I'll do anything for you. There you go. See, it looks a lot better now. Because it's in a crappy, dirty grey background. One ball goes in. Well, Mooncake's up a certain creek without a paddle here. And with that, Stubbs match should be underway. So I'm just going to change the cloth colour back to blue. We're going to bail out. And we're going to get ourselves in the room, because the match should have started, I think. Oh, this isn't a good sign. Oh, there we go. We're in. And, well, Quagmire is under the 2000 rating. Stub at the table. And I've no doubt that Stub will get himself onto that top 10 leaderboard and maybe even pinch the top spot off Larry. See the one difference between Larry and Stub is that Stub could very easily fall into the trap that a lot of players do, where they sort of lose interest during the match, even when they're winning comfortably. If that happens, and their mind starts to wander, they start to get sloppy, and forget about the fact that they have to stick to a discipline. The difference between him and Larry is Larry wouldn't do that, which is why Larry's at the top of the leaderboard for the Racks run. If Stub ends up with a hefty lead, he'll just start going for everything and make more mistakes and get untidy. And Larry's not the type of player that would do that. Whatever he is, he's consistent. And he does not change. But players like Stub tend to sort of maybe let their minds wander. And Quagmire has to be using the head. We'll see how much of that comes into the game. And remember what I also said the other night as well about players that are just desperate to pot a ball to stay at the table. The ones that I call one-dimensional players, where they've got no other things to bring to the table. Now this time though, Quagmire's got the cover. Stub's looking for the kick to try and chip that 3. Oh, he's got it too full, but he's got it reasonably safe. Now again, there's enough to entice Quagmire to have a go at this. And Stub now gets his chance. There's one thing I haven't looked at on that bracket, and that was to see, well, there's a mistake by Stub, and how's his luck? Well, his luck's pretty good. He's left nothing easy. Now Quagmire could go for the cut here, and he can run into the 6 and hold for that 5, and that's a good shot. And how's his luck on this 6? Does he want to leave it down by the 7 with the cue ball and play the 6 long, or does he want to run up the table? Well, he's going to, there's your answer. He's got a wee bit of spin on it though. And this is just a, if you want to play it safe, it's a plain pot. And don't run in behind the 9 though. Well, he's done everything wrong there. I mean, that was not played with a great deal of confidence. And he ends up hooking himself in a 7. That was poor. Well, the bad news for Quagmire is if you start bad against Stub and you do things like that, it doesn't really mean that your prospects are going to be very good for later on in the match. So Stub makes a mistake, but gets out of it with a free go. I want to have a look at the bracket. I think that's going to end up dry. No, the 3's gone in, and I want to see where Stub is in the bracket. Let's have a look and get this bloody thing to go across. There we go. So the making assumptions here. Yeah, Stub's going to be, if he comes through, obviously, which he's looking favourite to do so, he's going to end up playing Tornado Tam. Tornado Tam, who doesn't play 9-ball really, but certainly can pot a ball. And here's Quagmire's first, well, second good chance, but it's a first chance with all the balls there. And there's one problem, and the problem is the 6-ball. Well, this has got to go across the table twice here to get back across for the 4. And again, not a lot of confidence in it. Not enough weight in it either. The Stub's going to have to deal with the 6-ball, and it's more than likely going to be the combo, but Stub has got himself out of shape. Fully square on the 5-ball. You see he's now already got a comfortable lead, and he's going to be going for this. No thought of playing a safety. And look at, well, I stand corrected. Yes, he did play the safety. Look at how the 5's ended up. Unbelievable. Don't ever turn round and say you don't get any luck, Stub. Don't ever come up with that excuse. Well, he's checking this cue ball up slightly to try and come down the right side. This is a testy one. And it goes. And it's now 4-0. And it's now 5-0 because, well, the cue ball's going. Is it? No, it's not. So it's a golden break for Stub. And straight after that, the dry break. But the safe, nothing left on at all. See, that's the thing, Stub's going to go, he's going to go for everything. Now that he's got the comfortable lead. He's not going to refuse anything. And Quagmire, again, didn't have to get anywhere near as close to that too. Should have left the cue ball in the table and getting himself completely out of shape. And again, this is what I'm talking about, thinking on your feet and thinking about what you're doing and what you need to do. And if you don't do that, it's like playing with blinkers, because you don't know where the cue ball's going. You've got no thought process as to how to move on to that next shot, that next ball. And as I've said before, you know, you might play all day in challenge rooms, but when it comes to a big tournament, you're going to get found out very quickly at what ability level you're at. And the only lifesaver here at the moment for Quagmire is the 6 ball. There is room to get to it on the rail. Stub's going to have to deal with the 8 ball as well. And he's managed to miss that. But what can Quagmire make of it? He's trying to cut the 5 in past the 8. He's got it. Needs to kiss that 7. Oh dear. Not getting much of a break when he needs it. Well, we've now been we're on the stream. If you look at those 2 streams I did yesterday, we were on for over 6 hours. I had that unfortunate shutdown, which I did accidentally. I don't know how I did it, but I had a 2-hour stream, 2 hours and something, and then 4 hours after that. So that was 6 hours yesterday, and we're already over 3 hours tonight. And well, one way or another, he's got the 6 in. Is he about to get his first rack on the board? And like you guys, I've got my fingers crossed he gets it. Now he needs to cut this in and come out off the rail, get it as straight as he can and take his time, because you don't want to see anybody stuck in 0. And he's got his first rack on the board. Oh, good evening, Miasma. Now here we go again. This is the last time I'm going to say this tonight. Anybody who has subscribed to my Twitch channel, if you are a subscriber on my Twitch channel only, could you please subscribe to my YouTube channel? You don't have to watch on YouTube, just subscribe to it. Because I've got over 100 subscribers on Twitch that I would much rather have the subscriptions on YouTube. And if you could do that, it would be very much appreciated. I'm trying to get to 500. And meanwhile, Quagmire is trying to find various different ways to get himself in a mess. And that was scratching in the middle pocket, that one. After having just got his first rack in the board. And Stub's problem though is the 8. It's certainly not a combo, but if he can get good in the 7, he can break out the 8. He would have liked a wee bit higher than this, because I think he's going to, is he going to be able to cut it and chip that 8? He may well be alright. And it might end up going safe though. Well, it's the big bank for the 8 ball. Playing it at pocket speed, it was never ever going to miss. So Stub has a 5 rack lead, couple of balls in the break, and a very thin cut in the 1. In fact, 3 balls in the, no 2, but was it 2? Aye, what, the 3 and the 6. Thin cut in the 1. And a good opportunity for the break and run. Oh, there's Linus as well. I never noticed him. Well, I don't know what happened by the end of their match with it, because the Great Guru ended up being forfeited. Linus was about to win it anyway, but the server went down at the worst possible time. Well, this isn't over and done with yet, this rack. But Stub, big stun, has got himself perfect in the 9. And Stub racing away. Another ball in the break, he's going to be on the 1, and it's going to be another run out. And he's beginning to warm up. So also, a quick reminder, we've got, I am on my day off tomorrow and the next day, and over the next couple of days we've got matches, including tomorrow night. We have a couple of matches tomorrow night, but the main one is going to be Spectre Dawn against Tony Sam, which hopefully will go ahead. And it's all, I mean, we know Spectre Dawn should be here, but it's provided Tony Sam turns up. I'm expecting him to turn up, and we're expecting a good match between the two of them. Should be good. Stub now with a very comfortable 7 rack to 1 lead. Big cut in the 3, he's scratched, and those type of mistakes are all that Quagmire's going to have to go on. And when he gets those chances like this, he has to put them away, because he's not going to get any better chances than this from ball in hand. No, they can't, is the answer to that question. All you can do with them is buy cues or keep giving them away in what do you call them, wager matches. That's the only thing you can do. You can either lose them or win them. You can't do anything else with them. Meanwhile, Stub in trouble, and Quagmire is going to get another chance here. This 6 ball's going to come round. He's going to be unhindered by the 8 ball, but he's going to be hard pushed to get good on the 8 ball after this 6. Well, that won't happen, Potman. That's never going to happen. You know, bringing gambling into a game that's a PG-13 game, that simply isn't going to happen. It's never ever on the agenda, that. So get that idea out of your head. It ain't ever going to happen. Well, I'll tell you that just to keep you quiet, but it's not going to happen. If you're going to have, are you seriously telling me that Steve's going to leave himself open to the court cases and bankruptcy and jail when it gets reported that a 13-year-old kid has been gambling dollars online in a pool game? No. As Captain Mannering used to say to Corporal Jones, I think you're getting into the realms of fantasy there, Jones. And that's the other reason as well. Yep. For a game that only regularly has 50 odd people in the lobby, nobody's ever going to be becoming a millionaire in this place. Okay, forget that. You're going to end up out in the street. Well, you've got Stub for a start. Who would ever want to encourage Stub into gambling? He might be a 30-year-old guy, but he's got the mental age of a 9-year-old. Well, Quagmire's missing straight in shots now. That is really not good news. And 4 ball comfortably past the 9. Bit of straight in the 3, so bit of draw. And the great guru has arrived in the room. Did I have a look to see where Quagmire was from? Somebody said it was Ireland. Oh yeah, he's got an Irish flag. Well, For anybody who doesn't know what a quagmire is up to his neck in it, put it that way. He's sinking fast. Well, that's the only thing that's gone wrong there. If he'd missed that 5 ball, he would have been on the 2-9. He's played the billiard anyway. And Stub racing home. It's now 10-1. And 4 ball goes in. And something else goes in. And Stub's got a long pot on the 1. The 2's over the right middle. He's in a hurry. And he's going to have to get the jump stick out. Well, he's went for the kick, and I think he went for the kick because he couldn't be bothered setting up the jump there. To be honest with you, he just too much in a hurry. But it is a chance for Quagmire, albeit a slim one. The 3's awkward. Does it go past the 6? Yeah, it just squeezes past. Now, what he should be doing is getting a hold of that cue ball, where he's pushed it into the 6, and blinking you'll miss it, but that was Quagmire's chance, and that chance has now gone. Well, matches will get shorter. When you get 2 consistent players, matches are destined to get shorter. You see Stubbs just going all out to get down for the 8 because he's under no pressure, and he's got away with it. Now there's only me and the 2 players and the Great Guru in the room, so the Great Guru doesn't know that I'm live streaming. Stub gets the bank. Is he going to be able to see this 8? And the answer is no. So he's looking to try. He's convinced he can see it. My eyes must be really bad because I don't think he can get enough of that. Yeah, that was always a foul. My eyes aren't that bad. Well, Stubbs getting careless, like I said, and it's ball in hand for Quagmire, although I don't know whether Quagmire's paying attention enough, but he's going to leave it long just so that he can get the cue ball up the table, but not got the control. And that's, you know, you might get away with that in challenge rooms, but you just won't at this level. He's managed to dig it out though. And so it's 2 racks on the board for Quagmire, but all with the assistance of Stub. Just getting too much in a hurry, like I said he would. He'll just lash at everything. And like I said as well, he's had a good opportunity in this match to get himself onto that leaderboard, and he's thrown away that chance to get himself on there with the racks run. So he needs to get, you know, you have to play the table regardless of the score. as long as you stick to the disciplines and play proper shots, you'll be consistent. Doesn't matter what the score is, who you're playing, what's coming back at you. It's what happens when you're at the table if you're going to try and get a consistent few runs together. Now ended up way too low in the 5, so again a difficult cut in the 5 to stay at the table. And again with the risk of giving chances here to Quagmire, and he's got away with it. And how often does Stub get lucky? He's got away with that one as well. Almost scratches, but ends up on the 7 anyway. Well, that double kiss has helped Quagmire, but once again, Stub looking at the 5, probably going for the big blast in the 5 as well. Gets the cut. It's going to be the thin cut in the 7. Well, big thin cut or a reverse bank. And in it goes. That was a good shot. So 11-2 in this match. Started at the top of the hour, so we are 33 minutes into the match. And Stubbs had the 3 ball and the 5 ball in the break, sitting on the 1, and he should be out. Now, the way he's playing that one, the 6 goes past the 7. He's slightly the wrong side of the 6, which is why he's just jacking up to kill the cue ball. And now he's going to brush into the 9. Needs to just be careful. You see, that's sent him right onto the rail. Should be any problem though. Well, that's a rack run. Five ball thought about it, decided against it, and it's dry. And I think Quagmire can certainly punch the 1 around the table and try and hide the cue ball up there. Needs to watch that 6 ball though. Well, again, he's had a blast at that, but with no control in the cue ball, because the idea with that is you punch that object ball around the table but keep the cue ball where the 4 is. But he's got away with it to a certain extent, but Stubbs blasted a billiard and that 1 will stay in play. And the only lifesaver here at the moment for Quagmire is that 7 ball. It's not going anywhere there. And Stubbs got the wrong angle on the 2 to actually do anything here. So he's checking it to hold it on. And he's actually ran into the 8. That was a good shot. Loads of inside right English to pop the cue ball over to the right. And the bonus is running into the 8 to free up the 7. And as I said before this tournament started, this is the best chance in a tournament that Stub will have a winning, because he can pop balls. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, in situations where you've got to move that cue ball well and keep it under more tighter control, that's what might let him down. But if it becomes a shooting match, you know, Stub's going to more than match anybody. So it's now 13 racks to 2, and that break from Stub is dry, so again all he has to do is just bide his time, the chance will come. Quagmire's got nothing really inviting here, and again just going for a blast, and it sets me thinking, how did he actually get to a 1959 rating? That's what's got me thinking. And the only answer I can come up with, he's been playing players at a much lower level. It doesn't look like he's mixed it much with the heavier shooters in Virtual Pool 4. His rating is beginning to betray him from the shots that he's been playing, because he's been playing shots where, let's just put it politely and say that he's not really thinking an awful lot of what he's doing. Okay, he's getting a bit he's getting a bit depressed and disgruntled that he's this far behind, but I say you can only help yourself in this situation by doing more positive and sensible things, and he's done none of that. Or if he has done, I've blinked and missed it. Yeah, you have to use it. That's what I was talking about though, Slim. When I talk about this one-dimensional side to a lot of players, and it's being critical in one sense, but the other sense is, you know, we don't know what age group these people are. We don't know whether they've ever played in real life, but you have to bring everything to the table, and by that it means the potting ability, but you have to have good strategy. You have to know when to play the right shot. I mean, I was going to burst into song there, because he was on, somebody was playing him in at work today. What's his name? He just Kenny Rogers, you know, the gambler. You got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There's time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You have to bring everything. There's far too many one-dimensional players enter these tournaments, and they disappear as quickly as they signed up, because they just don't have any level of a game. Yes, they like to pop balls, but you have to endeavour and strive to take yourself to the next level, so you have to apply yourself. You know, it's like going to work. Let's look at it like going to work. If you go to work each day and you're doing a particular job, you have to do the right things, and you have to get things right, and if things are wrong, then you have to do everything in your power to get them right. So you have to, whether that's by working out a different way of doing something, you know, you have to apply all of these things, and see if you don't do that at your work, you won't be at that work very long. You won't be doing that job very long. if you don't learn things. And it's like going to school in virtual pool. You have to try always to get to that next level. But if you don't have, if your mind isn't open enough to be influenced, to start learning shots and learning controlling the cue ball, then you'll always be stuck in the one level. Oh, he's a world famous Scot, Kenny Rogers. Well, all the time I've been ranting and raving. It's 15-2 to Stub. I think we had another. I think we had another golden break in the middle of that there, or something happened. I blinked and missed it. Good evening, HAZAD. Well, you're going to have to play better. That's all I'm going to say. And poor old Howiewowie. Again, you know what I've just spoke about there. About doing everything. And these are obviously players as well that don't watch real life games. They don't look at real life games of pool or snooker or anything to see, you know, players playing safety shots, playing a sensible shot, playing a shot that's going to get a better outcome than actually going for something that's like a 70-30 chance of getting it. You know, far too many one-dimensional players. I like to see somebody who's thinking about what they're doing, and then you know they've got a chance. You know, there's always that room for improvement, but there are many players who will not rise above that level. He certainly did. Yeah. Yeah. But he played a big part in his own downfall as well. Far too many mistakes. Way too many. I mean, there's on the online, I can't remember what channel it is online, whether it was the one that John Slingblade used to talk about, or was it AccuStats? I think it's AccuStats. They had a way of Larry would be better at probably explaining this, but they had a way of working out your percentage for the match in shots played and things that you miss. And I bet you Howiewowi's percentage would be scraping the bottom of the barrel in that match. Really, really poor. Well, Stub now is only 3 away, and he's racing away. This match is 44 minutes old. Stub's good at kicking the balls. Usually he's pretty good. You know, if there's a good chance of kicking a ball, he'll kick it rather than jump. So, ball in hand for Stub. This will be another one on the board. Just a gentle roll in the 7. Keep it where the 8 ball is. And pretty soon the pain will all be over for Quagmire. And that rack is tilted slightly as well. The line between the top ball and the triangle and the diamond and the bottom ball, the line was going that way slightly. So, like, that's the top ball and that's the bottom or the back ball. You want to talk about it. That's how the rack was going. That's a bit more exaggerated, that line, but that's how that rack was sitting. Well, that's what you have to do. I mean, if you look at real life 9-ball, you'll see a lot of the players studying the rack before the break. The difference is in real life professional 9-ball, the rack is usually pretty straight because they've got the they've got the rack to hold the balls when the referee's setting up anyway, or when the player's setting up. So the rack is usually straight and not as offline as what you'd see in VP4, but it still might be a reason to try and work out a strategy when the rack is tilted a certain direction. Whether it'll make any difference, I don't know. But nobody does it. Not to my knowledge in VP4. But that rack, or this one that we're watching now, was tilted slightly left. Oh yeah, jumping. I mean, I can't jump in VP4. But it's way easier in this game than it is in real life. So it'll be interesting to see the stats at the end of this match, whether Stub has made any inroads into toppling Larry off that leaderboard. But what that tells you also is that even though I didn't get to see Larry's match, it tells you he was reaching a fairly good level of consistency in his match, which is the one thing that would let Stub down by getting a bit too loose and missing balls. Because of the way this match was shaping up, had he applied himself better, the end result might have been better on the stats, but we don't know yet. That remains to be seen, but we're not far off finding out, because Stub now is 1 away, and it is now what, not even 50 minutes. It is 48 minutes. A ball has dropped in. He's on the 1, and this match is over. I can confidently state that it is done and dusted within 50 minutes. And this is certainly one of 2 or 3 runouts that he's had, so he will affect the stats one way or another, and I think this is happening at the right time because my voice is going. 6 hours yesterday and what, almost 4 hours today. Yeah, Cirrus, again, that's another player I've never seen, but must have played reasonably solidly as well. So Stub has raced through, and we are not 50 minutes old for this match, and Stub is through to round 2 to play the only Scot in the tournament that I know, Tornado Tam. Very comfortable win for Stub. So here's the important one. Let's have a look at the stats and see how that shapes up. So here we go, and Stub has jumped onto the leaderboard, and he's joint 2nd place along with Mr. Fox, who's played 2 matches, remember, and Cirrus, who's played 1. So Larry is still up there. He's still up there on 9, and Tommy Hughes there in 3rd place on 6. Crow Dubrovnik on 4. Wink at Me on 4. Hairpig on 4. And Jose on 4. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the last one is what? Lannable. Popman's now been knocked off the leaderboard, so he needs to get his act together. So Stub is now in there, but he probably could have done better than that. It was a good chance for him to do better than that, and he only finished in 7th. So that is it. Oh, wait a minute, hang on a minute. Just a quick reminder before you all disappear out the window. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, so tomorrow's the 31st. If we go down, these are matches for the 2nd of April, but if we keep going down, we've got the match between Gung Ho and Mooncake, the rematch, at 7 o'clock, and we will watch that. And we've also got Tony Sam and Spectre Dawn scheduled for 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So those are the two main matches that we should have tomorrow, and then there's a few more in a day or two's time. So that is it, guys. Thank you for your company. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are on Twitch, and keep watching it on Twitch if you wish. It isn't a problem. And I will see you again tomorrow night, same time, same place. So take care, and the usual, and I'll see you again soon, and good night.